Hello everyone, near and far, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you on my YouTube channel, Global Finance, Financial Markets and Banking. This is the English version of an introduction for the playlist number 3, Payment Solutions, Payment Challenges in Europe. Well, to talk about digital payment instruments and systems means as a way we conduct financial transactions, making them faster, more convenient and accessible to a global audience, driven by advancements in technology and changing the consumer preferences. The European payment strategy of 2020 is a plan of the European Central Bank and the European Commission to improve the European payment area, to make the European payment area more secure, faster, convenient and independent from international market infrastructures. At the moment, we talk about the European Payment Initiative and the Wero as a new payment wallet with different functions since 2024 and innovations in 2025. Because this is an important period to go against the dominant payment service firms or big techs. Not only PayPal dominate, we have other US wallets like Apple Pay, Google Pay. They are very convenient, they have a global dimension and are very deep anchored in an e-commerce business. And additional to the development of the digital euro, now we see the challenge is now to establish a system in a European context to overcome the European patchwork of payment services. So, how to make retail payment safer, economical, comfortable and independent. The European Payment Initiative and since some months the European Payment Association, since July I think 2025, has the support of the European Central Bank and the European Commission, but it is an alliance of private commercial banks, private business banks of Europe. So let's start with a definition of payment transactions. But the transfer of payment methods of any kind. Traditional cash, payment via coins or paper, banknotes. Banknotes means central bank money. And we talk about non-cash transactions, traditional bank transfers, direct debits, and card payments, debit cards and credit cards. And we know the technology electronic payment, like used by mobile payment over our smartphones and online banking. To talk about payment transactions, we have to divide between domestic payments inside of national borders and international payments between currency areas like US dollar, Switzerland franc and British pound, or the Chinese RMB, renminbi, or Japanese yen, Canadian dollar or Australian dollar. So these international payments or cross-border payments are a challenge. So that means the national border in Euro countries are over the Eurozone, or the Eurozone include different countries. So we talk about a domestic market, and it's the aim of the European Union and the European market to integrate markets, capital flow. Concerning payments, we must say inside of the European market, we have a domestic market established, but the payments still national. We have a national patchwork. And this is my topic here and in the next videos. So to understand the payment instruments or the payment systems, we have really see on two worlds. On the one side, we see payment via commercial bank accounting systems such SEPA, Single European Payment Area, obligatory since 2014. It started in 2008, but we have much challenges in this SEPA system. In the United States, we have the ACH, US Automated Clearinghouse, and in China or in Japan, of course, other such payment areas. On the other side, we have card payments through global networks like MasterCard, Visa, etc., or national card systems like Girocard in Germany, Carte Bancaire in France, or Pago Bancomat in Italy. We will see the national champions later here. So here we have a slide from the European Central Bank, and later I will explain more in detail the basic solutions for user and the function of different parties here, and especially the different settlement and clearance. They offer payment services, transfers, direct debits, card payments, and online banking. Banks are involved in processing forward payments through internal systems or through central clearing houses. And not only business banks are involved in the payment processes, but the central bank too, because of this clearing services like Target 2 or T2 in Europe. So we have much pressure from innovation drivers, especially fintechs or big techs from US. The big techs, in the most of cases, use only the market infrastructure of Visa and MasterCard. What is innovative? Transfer, SEPA direct debit, a standing order for bulk payments. In the USA, this is named ACH system. On the other hand, we know the SWIFT payment system since the 17th, but here we have some innovations too. It concerns 11,000 member banks in 200 countries. And we have clearing systems like Target or T2 in Europe. FedWire is a system as a clearing system in the United States. We have tips for real-time bulk payments, so-called instant payment is possible now, is introduced or obligatory since 2 or 3 years in Europe, like RTP in the United States. To have a look to Asia, because the US payment system and the Asian countries, the global south, try to establish their own market infrastructure for payments. So international card networks. UnionPay is the biggest card organization of the world, concerning on the number of cards. A Chinese independent card network with increasingly acceptance in North America and Europe. And we know since the 60s an Asian credit card organization, Japanese Credit Bureau, GCB, very successful in Asia, but in US, Canada, and Europe too. And this international card networks, we have to take into account to understand the market infrastructure of global payments. Not so much institutions or big techs. Here you see the branding, well known. PayPal dominated all commercial payments in Germany and in other important European countries, American Express. So these are the competitors. And here you see the logo of the NFC, Near Field Communication. This is a special technology and will substitute the magnet strip, or it's obligatory. In some years, magnetic strip has to be a substitute, and this is a driver for innovations. So if we look here on this slide to Germany, you see the old Eurocheck card. Eurocheck card, it's a very old term used for electronic cash, and Girocard is an official branding since 2007, but EC card is used. Banks started to substitute Girocard by Visa and Master debit cards for international acceptance, the so-called co-badging. GiroPay was discontinued in 2024 and replaced by Wero. This is my topic, a payment service from the European Payment Initiative with P2P available since 2024 and online payment possible since 2025 for retail payments, and in more countries, not only in Germany, France, Belgium, but in other countries like Dutch or Spain, Italy, it's planned for 2026. So now let's look on the national patchwork of payment methods. Okay, GiroPay finished now at the end of 2024, and EP brought Wero. And all banks in Germany, the saving and loan associations, the credit cooperative banks, the private banks offer, of course, SEPA transfers, but in e-commerce, in mobile payment and cross-border payment, we see other fintechs and big techs. For example, in Germany, not only PayPal is dominated, but Klarna is a Swedish financial service firm, and other are available, and banks cooperate with Apple Pay, Google Wallet or something wallet. That means if you have a house bank like Deutsche Bank, you can decide for payment methods from not only from PayPal but for Apple Pay or Google Wallet and so on. And now we see other for e-commerce here. This is really a patchwork, and it's a hard competition between banks, private banks, business banks, to make the payment area and all these new technologies available for her consumers. So, and this is the background in Germany. If we look to France, we have more than less the same situation. We have the big business banks like Crédit Mutuel or BNP Paribas, Société Générale, and Group BPCE. That means big banking groups of saving and loan associations and credit unions are here merged. And yes, they cooperate with the big techs from US, and the consumer can decide between different payment instruments. But the national champion is card bancaire. I think 70% is a market share of card bancaire, but very well-known Klarna, the Swedish European competitor, and other we see here. In Italy, the national champion is Bancomat, and if you have a business bank like UniCredit or Banca Sella or Monte dei Paschi di Siena, Federkasse, these are credit cooperative banks, there's an association, then you can use Bancomat, but BitPay or PayPal is well known in Italy too. So, and other competitors, of course. And Spain, we have Bizum as a national champion. It is a most well-known card issuer or financial service platform for Spain. And of course you can use SEPA, but in e-commerce and cross-border payment, mobile payment, other platforms are on the market. And all big banks like Santander cooperate with Google Pay or Apple Pay, Bank Sabadell or CaixaBank Bank or Rulavia. These are the cooperative banks. They have services from big techs. And now we try to how to bring it together for a European solution. So in Poland, we have more than less the same national patchwork. The Bank Polski, PKO Bank Polski, is the most important bank. This is the largest bank in Poland. The second is Bank PKO, and the national champion is Preslevy at 24, or every Polish consumer use Blik. 90% of Polish smartphone user knew Blik as for P2P payments, for example, and other financial services. But Blik needs a business account, a business banking account from a Polish bank or from a bank, European bank in Poland. For example, Bank Santander Polska or Revolut, a neobank. We know it too in Germany. So This is a patchwork, national patchwork. I have not the time to talk about more countries at the moment, but let's see. We have some ambitious, rocky, changeable alliances. It's not an easy way to build up such alliances to create a sovereign European payment solution, Wero. AP started 2020, was founded by 16 European banks and payment service providers to create a unified digital payment solution in Europe. The aim is to enable instant payment through a digital wallet without international intermediaries. The European Payment Association is very new in 2024, and I'm happy about this success. The European Payment Association is an association of national mobile payment systems such as Bizum, Spain, Bancomat, Italy, MBWay, Portugal, and Vipps Mobile Pay, Scandinavia. They bring their established systems into the European Payment Initiative. It's a very important cooperation, and so here we see again the founding shareholders from 2020. Some founder left, like Commerzbank, Hypovereinsbank and other. But we see the founder here, Credit Mutuel, ING, Deutsche Bank, Deutsche DZ Bank, the cooperative Giro Bank, and the German Saving and Loan Association with a really high market share. New start, for example, the DZ Bank returned, and the Ideal platform joined, and Payconic or Worldline in the European Payment Initiative. I'm really optimistic that next year we will see more participants and more market share. So what is the aim? To make Wero successful before the electronic euro will come, the electronic central bank money. Micro payments is the topic here, and Wero should maybe integrate an euro wallet. So this will be very interesting if the electronic will come or not in 2028. In any case, the Wero should be established, should substitute the dominated US big tax, or partly substituted, and then we will see a market infrastructure for the European payment. So this was an overview about my concept here in the playlist number 3. In the next videos I will analyze more details, special payment instruments like request to pay or other payment instruments for private households, for e-commerce, for corporates. So this is my aim, and thank you very much for your attention, and I will be back in some days and in the next weeks. Goodbye.